Welcome to On the Mic, viewers. Today we are going to discuss on the burning topic of Bangladesh and why it is very important for India. To understand this topic, let's not further delay. Let's jump into this topic. So, what is the current state of Bangladesh? What are the forces that are operating in Bangladesh? So, if you look at the current Bangladesh state, we have one direction, forces from US and PAK acting together. You have a force acting from China, and you have internal terror outfits like Jamaite and other radical student organizations acting from other end, and you have political parties such as BNP and Awami League acting from other end. So it's a complete pressure situation in the Bangladesh, and it's not so easy for Mr. Yunus, who thought in the year August 2024 that it's going to be easy and he's going to enjoy this interim government in charge position or this power. So, how are these forces acting upon? And the current day situation, is it just happened today? No, it has got some history. So, let's see. Let's not go back to too much of history. Let's see what has happened from 2024. Okay. In the year 2024, Sheikh Hasina's party Awami League has came into power with a bumper majority. However, the political rival BNP has boycotted the elections, and they they thought not to recognize this government, and they were making every effort, and then they were in coordination with the US government, then the Biden government, to ensure that this particular Awami government gets toppled down. So at the same point, the US government has expressed interest and asked Bangladesh to provide them St. Martin's Island so that they can establish a communication base for their military for this particular region. Sheikh Hasina, who did not agree for this particular proposal from US, triggered a conflict kind of a situation between US and Bangladesh. The reason being, at that particular point of time, Hasina's government was very much inclined towards Chinese government, and as we speak today, Bangladesh has to pay $6 billion US debt to the China. So at that point of time, due to China's pressure, they could not go with America. So both BNP and America were waiting for a right situation to topple down this government. So their wait was over in the month of July 2024, when in High Court decision, Bangladesh High Court decision to reverse their decision which they took on 2017 and 2018 regarding the reservations, that kind of a triggered a student protest across the nation. So this was a genuine protest for the jobs and all. But however, this particular situation has been magnified and used multifolded by the external forces, the deep state forces from US, and from July 2024 to August 15, 2024, the entire world saw what has happened in Bangladesh. There was continuous chaos. There was multiple people have lost their lives and whatnot. They went into prime minister residence. They did whatever they want. They destroyed the government buildings and all, creating complete chaos. And this resulted in Hasina flowing away from Bangladesh, and she took asylum in India. So what happened after August 5, 2024? Yunus has been appointed as an interim government in charge post Hasina's exit. So, what happened after that? So, this is the first turning point, I would say. So, post Yunus took as an interim in charge of government of Bangladesh. Three things he mainly did. The entire strategy or the playbook for Yunus was given from US, and it was tactically supported by ISI and Pakistan. And on the street side, it was supported by the radical student organization and institutions like Jamaite Islam. There was too much happening from August 2024 to early part of 2025 in Bangladesh. There was a strong anti-India rhetoric that was been spreading, and there was strong anti-India sentiment that has been started to kind of induced into the public, and we can witness lot of ISIs senior folks and military folks from Pakistan army and lot of terror outfits from Pakistan have come into Bangladesh, and they have spoken to UNIS and government officials, and they kind of what is it took care of the entire area, like took a note of the entire area, and they also Pakistan also kind of established their office, so-called diplomatic office, but in the name of diplomatic office they kind of was brewing up a lot of anti-radical things that could kind of disturb India. So in the same time, US got foothold in Bangladesh. They were able to land in St. Martin's Island in the name of setting up of communication network for their military base, and also to set up an humanitarian corridor between Myanmar and Bangladesh. The ultimate aim of US was to kind of take the rare earth metals from Myanmar and take it back to US, which currently China was doing, and they wanted to stop that. But did that happen? No. US and Bangladesh had found a tough fight with Myanmar. They could not do it. And what happened these 6 months? There were a lot of riots, a lot of fire accidents that happened in the factories. We could notice fire accidents in the airport. Their entire business system collapsed, and lot of chaos and lot of atrocities started happening with minorities. More than 150 temples were demolished. Hundreds of lives have been lost, taken. They were mobbed, raped, and whatnot. The only rhetoric that was brewing up there, anti-Hindu, anti-India, and it is going to be a nation that is going to be only followed as Sharia law. And there is a certain section of people in Bangladesh who wanted to become again an East Pakistan. Okay, let's move on to what happened from first quarter 2025 to close to November 2025. By this time, after the first quarter of 2025, Bangladesh was in complete mess. I would say it was in a khichdi that has been operated by too many forces. At a ground level, there were multiple terror outfits fighting against each other. There were at a surface, at a little tactical level, there were a lot of intelligence agents fighting amongst each other like ISI, RA, KGB, MSS, CIA, and unconfirmed sources there that 20 of the US men have lost their lives as well. And one major was found dead in the hotel room, like which they are making no buzz at all, right? Whenever they lose, they don't make any buzz. So and the main role given to UNIS was to kind of clean up the situation and conduct elections and bring in a democratic government. So from August 2024 till date, now we are speaking December 2025, UNIS has never shown his intention to do that, and he just wanted to sit and enjoy the power along with his supporters. There is a strong section of society or like supporters who does not want elections to happen, and they want Bangladesh to be like this. And one of them is Pakistan, because they wanted the chaos to happen so that it kinds of disturbs and it sucks up some of the energy from India. And if you remember, Asif Munir was stating, this time India is going to face trouble from the eastern side. So eastern side of India is Bangladesh. So precisely, Pakistan has changed their efforts from Pakistan to Bangladesh to ensure that the chaos continue, the anguish continue, the anti-India rhetoric continue, the anti-Hindu rhetoric continue, so that heat travels to India and it kind of succumb our energy resources, right? So this has all been happening until October 2025. So finally, Mr. Yunis has to declare an elections date, and the election date was roundabout in February 2026. So during this process, there were multiple leaders, student leaders that were they were nowhere until 2024 started kind of expanding their claws and wanted to fly high. One such leader we could see, and whoever one could we see was like Sharif Osam Hadi. And he was from Inqilab Morch, and he was shot dead on December 15, 2025. So if August 5, 2024 was one turning point in Bangladesh, December 15, 2025 was another turning point in Bangladesh. So he was taken back to Singapore, airlifted, and December 19, he was declared dead, and December 20, the last rites were performed. Between December 15 to December 18, there were a lot of riots that happened. Over 200 plus people lost their lives. Indian embassies, Indian officers were attacked, and an innocent Hindu, in the name of blasphemy, has been set afire when he was alive. And this has caught lot of attention across the world, and every parliament, every major nation parliament condemned these attacks, and they urged UNIS, the interim government, to take care of the minorities because it is their responsibility. Until then, until that point of time, UNIS and the government was constantly blaming India about this particular uh, attack on Hadi as India's manipulated thing, and the people who shot him actually flew away to India. Post the global pressure, post the global condemning of this all this attack or all this nonsense they have done to Hindus and the minorities, the Bangladeshi government has to take a step back and agreed that this has been done someone internally. So the anti-India story cooled down, and now it came to know that it is pure politics that's been brewing across Bangladesh. There's nothing. So at the end of the day, who is suffering? The local people are suffering, the local business people are suffering, the local minorities are suffering, and the innocent people are getting killed for no reason. Because someone wants to come to power, or because someone wants to take some resources. December 20th, last rites happened, and the government condemned that it is someone who has done internally this particular attack. The brother of Hadi openly said that it has been orchestrated by UNIS because Hadi actually wanted to contest elections from Dhaka 8, which is a key constituency for BNP. And the rise of Hadi actually created a lot of acidic feelings in the political circles within Bangladesh. So, like a traditional Bollywood movie, they wanted to kill him and wanted to put that on someone else, create chaos, and wanted to kind of postpone elections. Unfortunately, this time the plan did not work and backfired, and they were ordered to conduct elections. So, to the surprise, BNP leader Tariq Rahman has landed up in Bangladesh a couple of days back. He was in exile for last 17 years. So, what does this speak? BNP want to take the advantage of this entire situation because Awami League was completely banned, so they cannot participate in election. So, if at all, who can win? There is a high likely chance that BNP can win. If BNP wins, they will be pro US. So, ultimately, it is a game of two nations between US and China. People of Bangladesh lost their lives. Pakistan wanted to play around with Bangladesh to kind of an impact India. Bangladesh lost its lot of financial resources. At the end of the day, they wanted to make India, create disturbance to India by ensuring that resources get little bit burnt up. But ultimately what happened? Yes, definitely India has to focus on this particular issue for last 18 months. But more than India, Bangladesh has lost. So at the end of the day, guys, it is only politics. At the end of the day, the ground level, the people will not get. At the end of the day, the ground level people will die for the benefit of people who are sitting on the top. So, a neighboring nation which is disturbed will always create little bit of worry to any country. It's like you have a disturbing neighbor, you definitely cannot sit happily in your home. Same case with India. You have a disturbed neighbors, you cannot focus on your growth, you cannot focus on your strategies. Definitely you have to keep an eye. You have to keep your energies and resources there. So We'll keep watching on Bangladesh, and we'll try to get more and more updates on this one. Thanks for watching this video. Do like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.